Town Council at 7 o'clock p.m. on September 5th. All council members are present with the exception of Councilmember Rivero. Would you please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sign in and see if it works.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. Next item on our agenda is public comment. Public comment is an opportunity for town residents and other interested individuals to speak about items not on the agenda. The comment period is limited to the first 30 minutes of the meeting, and if we have any run over, we'll get that at the end of the meeting. I don't have anybody signed up for public comment, but anybody in the audience wishing to make public comment? Seeing none, we'll move along to reports, items, and comments from mayor and council. I'll start to my far right, Councilmember Barrington.
Can we start with the far left?
I can start with the who's ready on this side? Okay, we'll start in the middle. We don't ever start in the middle.
Cool.
Councilmember Wilkes.
Yeah, so on August 22nd, I attended the 25th anniversary of Allegro Music here in Parker, which is just phenomenal because I remember renting instruments from them when I was younger and my son, and then just getting to celebrate a long time standing business in our community it was fantastic. And then on the 28th, we had, along with Council Member Barrington, we had a Greater Parker Foundation meeting, so I'm excited about where we're moving with that. And on the 29th, I got to do a ride-along with the Chief of Police, which was incredible, and just get to see the experience of what our officers go through. And we actually found a stolen vehicle and found a suspect for that and got a full confession, which was fantastic. So I really enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to the next ride-along.
Great. Councilmember Hefta.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Mayor. So we did attend the farmers market a couple of weeks ago, and I did attend the older adults listening tour with Councilmember Barrington. I also was invited to a restart meeting by Southeast Christian Church to go over how a couple of years ago during COVID, the church had put in matching funds from its patrons and had donated upwards at about $300,000 for local businesses here in Parker during the COVID pandemic shutdown. A lot of those businesses wrote thank you letters to the church about how that money saved their business during COVID. So that was a very nice meeting to attend, to hear all the happy stories of how these businesses have succeeded with help from Southeast Christian Church and their patrons. And I also went to Art in the Park with my children and had a lovely time.
Councilmember Dyak.
Thank you very much. A lot of E470 updates. On the 24th, I had a Finance Committee meeting. We reviewed our annual investment portfolio briefing with our investment advisor, Chandler Asset, who is also the Town of Parker's investment advisor. We talked about traffic and revenue studies. Getting that information is good for the board, because we can talk about revenue projections and potentially keeping tolls the same or lowering them. We're going to get those here in about a month and a half or so. We're going to have a retreat here on the 19th for E470. And as a part of the road show, we headed to Commerce City with former Town of Parker Deputy Community Development Director Jason Rogers. He is now city manager over there. He says hi to everybody. And I did say, and he did say back at you, yes, but again, it was great. We're coming to Parker on the 25th, and today we had the Parker Investment Advisory Committee review again with Chandler Asset Management. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Hendricks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I had the pleasure a couple weeks ago also doing a ride-along with the Parker Police Department. It was a exciting experience. Did a graveyard shift on a Friday night, so a lot of teenagers I got to see doing things they probably shouldn't be, but overall, good learning experience. That's all.
Councilmember Barrington.
Well, now after all that, I think you guys covered it, so I'm good. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, Chief, you're getting some staff augmentation with our council here. That's a good sign, right? All right, for volunteers. The only thing I have to add is that we welcomed Downtown Colorado Inc. and CML to town last Thursday. right, for a walking tour of Parker, and there's probably about 50 people there. Tony DeSimone from the Confluence Company joined us as well to talk about the downtown Parker updates and all that good stuff. So it was a good time, and Councilmember Hefta and Councilmember Rivera were there as well. So, all right, with that, we will move on to the consent agenda. The consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with one motion and one vote. There will be no separate discussion on the consent agenda items unless council votes to remove an item for discussion. Ordinances on the consent agenda are for introduction only and will not be removed for discussion. So, council, you have items 4A through 4F for your consideration.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve consent agenda items 4A through 4F.
Second.
Motion is made by Dyak, seconded by Hendricks. Barrington?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Dyak?
Yes.
Wilkes?
Aye.
Hefta?
Yes.
And that passes 5-0. Just a note within that consent agenda was a proclamation for Constitution Week that'll be delivered to the Daughters of the American Revolution. This is a longstanding tradition in Parker that we celebrate Constitution Week, and it's a great thing. And we usually have Martha and George Washington here with us, but times are changing. You know, they're not making their public appearances. So with that, we'll move on to our public hearings of the night. I will open our first public hearing at 7:06 p.m. That's in Old Town Metropolitan District, and we will have Town Attorney Kristen Hoffman presenting.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Could I ask that you read in the resolution and the ordinance?
Thank you. So we'll be discussing resolution number 23-059, a resolution to approve the amended and restated service plan for Old Town Metropolitan District, and ordinance number 9.362 on second reading, a bill for an ordinance to approve the intergovernmental agreement between the town of Parker, Colorado and Old Town Metro District.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I'm here tonight to present on the Old Town Metropolitan District. It's a commercial center located at the corner of Jordan and Main Street. Town Council approved a service plan for Old Town Metropolitan District back in 2004. They are here seeking approval of an amended and restated service plan and an intergovernmental agreement to accompany that service plan. The main focus of this service plan amendment is to increase their debt limit to $7.5 million to cover improvement costs estimated at approximately $6 million. These include asphalt and concrete improvements to internal roads, detention and stormwater improvements, curb and gutter, and sidewalk and landscaping improvements. Under the model service plan, which their application is in conformance with, they can impose a maximum debt mill levy of 57 mills, and it also provides authorization to impose up to 10 mills for operation and maintenance. The district is anticipated to be issuing bonds in the amount of approximately $6 million. They are not imposing any mill levies for the regional infrastructure or the town infrastructure mill levies as provided in the model service plans. The applicant for the Metro District is here with a much more detailed presentation. Carly Ogden is here on their behalf, and I believe she'll be giving the presentation this evening.
All right, let's go to staff questions. We'll start with Councilmember Hendricks.
No questions.
Great. Councilmember Barrington?
No questions, thank you.
Councilmember Dyak?
No questions.
Councilmember Wilkes?
No questions.
And Councilmember Hefta?
No questions.
All right. Come on down. And if you would mind, state your name and address for the record.
Hello, my name is Carly Ogden. I'm at 1091 East Bayard Avenue in Denver, 80209, and I'm with Eisenagel Seaver Pogue. I'm an associate there, and we have the pleasure of serving as general counsel for Old Town Metropolitan District, who is bringing before you this amended and restated service plan. I had hoped to begin with the board of director, the president, Mitch Treaty, who is going to speak on his experience serving on the district and the ask before you today. Unfortunately, he had a pipe burst, and so he's having way more fun this evening than we are. So I'll just speak a little bit about that and the context that we're bringing before you today.
That's usually the winter excuse we get from him, so.
That's true.
We'll,
That's true. We'll keep an eye out.
all right,
for
we'll
it.
have to let it ride.
Yeah, so he actually came on in the commercial development area in about 2015 as the developer's broker, and then began to serve on the district board in 2016. In the absence of an owners association within that community, the roadway and landscape maintenance and repair have been effectively coordinated through the prior developer. And really, the only repairs that have been seen in that community have been those of critical need and an absolute minimal level. And there hasn't been a coordinated effort to fund or support the operation and maintenance of especially those internal roads and the drainage facilities within that. And so what you're seeing before you today is an amended and restated service plan in addition to an intergovernmental agreement that provides the district with the authority to operate and maintain certain of those roadways and landscaping improvements that aren't otherwise dedicated to the town of Parker or another public entity, especially in light of the fact that there's not a property owners association. So that was a long background to get to the actual presentation. I have a picture of the district vicinity map, and you'll have a more comprehensive one that was actually in your meeting packet that Kristen put together that shows it in better detail. And I'll draw your attention to this page. This is a page that puts together a map of anticipated public improvements and repair and new improvements within that area, as well as shows some pictures of the current status of some of the roadways and landscaping within that community and the true need that the district and its property owners are having at this point in time. And then to get to the meat and potatoes, we have the original service plan. And so this is what the district is currently operating with. As Kristen mentioned earlier, it was approved by town council in September of 2004. Currently under the existing service plan and actually under the amended and restated service plan as well, the district doesn't have the authority to operate and maintain public improvements without the approval of town council. And so that's what you'll see in the intergovernmental agreement. There's also currently, under the existing service plan, no operation and maintenance mill levy cap for the district. It currently imposes 15 mills for O&M and historically has imposed an O&M around that same amount. And there's also similarly no limit on the district's ability to impose fees, rates, and charges within the community. The 2004 debt limitation under the existing service plan is about 1.1 for the debt limit and has a corresponding 50 mil levy cap subject to adjustment in the existing service plan. And then the 2004 public improvements, the estimated cost was around $677,000 for those public improvements back in 2004. And what you'll see under this amended and restated service plan is really moving the current district service plan up to the model service plan that Town of Parker has put together. So you'll see it includes a lot of the limitations and requirements that other districts that are forming or are seeking service plan amendments are also have in their service plans. And the priority for the district and also property owners with the district is the authorization for some of that operation and maintenance under the IGA as approved by council, if approved by council, so that the district can perform those services that are otherwise being neglected and not completed. You'll also see the debt service mill levy limit being increased. I'm sorry, the debt limit increasing to $7.5 million. Correspondingly, you'll see that the maximum debt service mill levy is staying at the 57 mills subject to adjustment, and the introduction of an O&M mill levy cap of 10 mills. The district also, under this amended and restated service plan, is limited in the fees that it is able to impose. And so you'll also see some of the estimated costs of public improvements, and that's in more detail in Exhibit D of the service plan as well. And so what you'll see before you today is some of the statutory criteria for approval, as well as the Town of Parker's own specific criteria for approval. I know you're all familiar with this, having heard some other service plans recently and also having updated your model service plan recently as well, so I won't belabor that. But just speaking again to the need and the best interest of the property owners in the district taking on this additional authorization through the intergovernmental agreements, and then also coming up to date with the requirements and limitations under the model service plan. You'll see there's inadequate existing service based on the pictures, and then also the feedback that we've received and the district's received from property owners within the area. More detail about the capital plan and opinions of the probable costs of some of those repairs, which include large-scale replacement as well as new development, is in that Exhibit D. And then you'll also see a corresponding financial plan in Exhibit F. And as I mentioned, one of the perks of having the amended and restated service plan is that it brings the existing service plan up in line with the model service plan. So continuing on with the annual report and transparency and disclosure requirements under that model service plan, and then also a new intergovernmental agreement that the district otherwise doesn't have up until that point. So that is what I had hoped would be a brief presentation, a little bit more about the amended and restated service plan before you today. I'm happy to answer any questions and also have some backup support if needed as well. So thank you all for your time tonight.
Great, thanks. We'll go to applicant questions. Councilmember Dyak?
I have no questions, thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Wilks?
No questions, thank you.
Councilmember Hefta?
Yes, should this pass tonight, is there some improvements planned for this area already under works?
Not that are currently under works, but the anticipated renovation and replacement of existing, particularly roadways that are needed. You'll see that a little bit more in Exhibit D. So it speaks to, and I can happy to pull that up. So you'll see there's site work for some of the detention ponds and stormwater management, asphalt, concrete, and internal roads, curb, gutter, crosspan, aprons, sidewalks, and then some additional landscaping corresponding with those. So those are anticipated to come.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Councilmember Hendricks?
No questions.
And Councilmember Barrington?
No questions, thank you.
All right, with that, we're going to go to public comment on either resolution number 23059 or ordinance number 9.362. Anyone from the public wishing to make public comment on those? Seeing none, we're going to close the public comment period. And council, any final comments before we close the public hearing? All right, we're going to close the public hearing at 7:16 and bring it back to the council for any debates, comments. Councilmember Hefta?
No comments.
Councilmember Wilks?
Question here. So we all know that area and we know the massive potholes that are the size of our cars. Do we think that by increasing this and doing this, that gives enough to fix the infrastructure? Because we can't just keep filling potholes. They keep coming back. Like this, I don't have the precedent on this one.
Yeah, I think Councilmember Hefta's question regarding to capital improvements sort of hits that. I think we all know the area, and we've had a few emails throughout the years on the, I think, roadway improvements. If it's not enough, then I think we'll see the applicant back here and asking for more, or we would have a conversation.
That works. Thank you.
Councilmember Dyak?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is, I appreciate the Metro District and the owners kind of getting behind the improvements. I think, as Councilmember Wilks indicated, that there have been some challenges over the years in terms of roadway maintenance or lack thereof, which we've been informed of by people saying, can you do something? And the answer is, it's a private road and we really can't. So I'm happy that the Metro District has stepped up, and I think these funds will go a long way towards remedying those issues and concerns that people have brought to us, and I'm supportive.
Councilmember Hendricks?
I'm in support of too. Thank you.
Councilmember Barrington?
I really appreciate, those that have stepped up and taking some leadership, and it's much needed, and I think it's a great thing, and I'm also supportive.
With that, I'll entertain a motion on resolution number 23-059.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 23-059.
Second.
Motion is made by Hefta, seconded by Barrington. Barrington?
Yes, it was
Hendricks?
seconded by Hendricks, but
Motion is made by Hefta, right?
Hefta
I
seconded
seconded
by
it.
And seconded by
Hendricks.
Hendricks.
You said Barrington.
And then I went to the vote.
Gotcha.
All right.
Sorry.
Barrington?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Dyak?
Yes.
Wilks?
Aye.
Hefta?
Yes.
That passes 5-0. I'll entertain a motion on ordinance number 9.362.
I move to approve ordinance number 9.362 on second reading.
Second.
Motion is made by Hendricks, seconded by Hefta. Barrington?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Dyak?
Yes.
Wilkes.
Aye.
Hefta.
Yes.
And that passes 5-0. With no other business before the Parker Town Council, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Barrington,
Second.
Hendricks. Motion is made by Barrington, seconded by Hendricks. Barrington,
Yes.
Hendricks,
Yes.
Dyak, Wilkes,
Aye.
Hefta.
Yes.
And that passes 5-0, and we're adjourned at 7:19.